me transfer me data ni nyina odi ni intro wie and I'm say wo Ghana enye no be good evening Ghana enti me ba ho me say anadwe me ba ho and the reason why I make a support don't joke with me don't bring it to me shame on you. How dare you?
Oh, yeah, then.
Me for catch and say me ba anadwe me bra no mie me.
Hey! Paul Adom Otchere.
Hey! Because say you are one is an understatement. That is sexual harassment. Who can say me yakwara? I'm surprised I'm 52 years old.
Wow.
And still counting. Don't joke with me. I'm a married woman. Me a married woman. Who Paul Adom Otchere? Is that your character?
And the man I call the show Susano or the
bold. Me NDC National Women's Organizer. Me NDC ni kron me moja ni enfrem. Politics ko habra han me ni mu ye. Ya wo me to be if NDC be to me. Ni a wo me. And I met them when my dear so told that Miss Mabwasomuda. And my brother doing pempen so I'm a don't joke with me.
We send us a lodge formal complaint.
I'll lodge a formal complaint to Metro TV.
Now, Empo police, yeah, the
how dare you say, member me?
It's Yamati. Paul Adom Otchere.
You are disgrace to manhood. Who was here, Jumana? Who to me, now who do Musa Dankwa, no, who did not tell me, you couldn't tipeno. Who cassette your President John Dramond Mahama, or you couldn't tipeno. Now, what's sorry, my focus and I'm media. Make a choice, media, who can I say, look, dear me, Frau, which I say, you have to apologize to some people and got to apologize to us. What's obey? How can I so obey?
Sir,
who be some say here, me take us a me fool.
Now, Wabaha be me,
me see me on the studio. So, because make us say, so now me call so far. Now me test it. Monko Metro and cautious support. Or catch and say, on your life. Make us say, inform and call for this. They should open because I'm coming to ask you my questions on stage. I feel say, on your life. Or your pre-recording. Life with you Tuesday. Because this is a weekend in Abeba. Ujane, a video no na expose you. It will be a show. If we say when Ghana for no one contabu, Paul Adom Otchere, Ghana for you will become. What's it see? I am so much. Why you see media and Metro TV now? Why you see you've abused Ghanaians, you've abused leadership, and I say, when you say you abuse women because you are bold enough to tell me, Hannah Bissiw say, me Paul Adom Otchere, one in Metro TV. I'm going to launch a formal complaint. Make a police when must launch a formal complaint at the Amawi station. Who subano no menace on the baby? When you may be uncle. Yes, so I'm no one some coffee so woo what had Ghana, what had Ghanaians. Enka, we need a no dinner china, or Buama or reporter. Senka, we are loyal, Calbetan in chain. 2016, and my President Mahama, a concede honorably. And yes, sir. Conceding where you on your clothes while report. No, I can say now, who communicate? Me, no communicate, me use person, me a long distance runner. Okay, now me, yeah, no, eti, me kwame, obi owane miti me konuma san abesign. Okay, so your clothes are report on this with Jaya, Yamboyan, some man, Daddy, but what you say, because election, whether they no poor, yes, it would have been peaceful, except in Yamakakra. And President Mahama honorably or conceding shall me wo a half me free ho now point is in a free ho ya warm yamia ye free ho me drive it straight to if you do her and up because straight to President Mahama fee. That's what we did. Yeah, in Janet. Ube cafe or uche or pekintina mekachane say, Oladomoche, I'm a Cuban train. Meaning you Cuba. Read my lips. Don't mess with me.
Yes, I was so bad.
Don't.
Adofoni. Come Pratt.
Well, strange things happen. And many strange things are happening now. I'm completely surprised that a government headed by a president who is commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, with a vice president who is chairman of the police council, is calling on the opposition to restore calm on our streets. How is that possible? Strictly speaking, all Ghanaians have an obligation to contribute to the security of the state and so on. But the primary responsibility lies with government. And it's so strange that government is calling on the opposition, which has no power, to do what the government should have done. That's absolutely strange, you understand? But beyond that, I mean, yesterday I had reports of what was happening in Winneba and other places. And it turned out that the looting which was taking place was not being done by NDC cadres and members. It was being done by MPP members. In fact, the NDC in Winneba and areas around there had actually organized a task force to arrest those who were stealing iron rods from the Agenda 111 project and those who were stealing fertilizers and so on. And it turned out that they were MPP. The third point, which is important, and I think is very, very important, that whilst we condemn the mayhem on the streets, the hooliganism and so on, we have to appreciate the fact that this is not the first time. Indeed, after the 2016 elections, those who drove four-wheel drives could not ply the streets any longer because they were all deemed to be officials of the outgoing government who were stolen vehicles. It was mayhem on our streets. A bunch of people invaded the NAGMO office, sacked everybody from there and closed it up. And so we saw that in 2016. You understand? Now, that does not justify what is happening now. But the impression should not be created that one party is so lawless and one party, you know, is a law-abiding party and so on. That's not the issue. You understand? So all those who are engaged in these activities, you know, are barefaced criminals. And criminality has no party colors and so on. So the security agencies under the direction of the current government, which is headed by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, should take full responsibility and clean the streets of hooliganism. That's all.
I totally agree with the editorial position of the insight that we are in a new dawn, but Ghanaians have a lot of expectations, mainly because of their own challenges before the elections, and also what the NDC is sort of told the electorates that if you vote for me, this is what I'm going to do. So people are really expecting things. For example, we spoke about prices of items, inflation, and many more. And let's note that this expectation is not new after every elections. I remember driving around the circle and somebody banging his hand on my car, pop, 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 pop. And I said, what's this? Oh, now that you are out of it, we are going to marry. As if the NDC was the reason why, during Kufuor's time, the NDC was the reason why they are not going to marry. But I have also cause to believe the sincerity of the expectation. Having come under a government that cared only about itself than the people of Ghana. They do have a right to express such anxiety. Look, bless, you finish school with your colleague and you are staying at home with your previous senior brother and junior brother sisters behind you. all at home. Then you see some Yale's children, right, who you left school with, all being employed under what they call protocol, isn't it? What can create apprehension than this? That we all left school, but because your father is connected, you are recruited. You see what I mean? Then again, workers, the vanguard of the people. A worker's minimum wage is about 13 cedis, now it's about 23 something. Bless, and that cannot buy a loaf of bread. You know, some breads in some places are 30 cedis and that. Yes. And the worker, how much is the worker's salary? All other things were rising, being increased. Inflation is on the increase, the cost of living is on the high. Every other day, petrol prices are increased. Even 2 days before the elections, petrol prices were increased. Now, I was wondering how Nana Akufo-Addo would think that with a stable or, well, salaries confined, how Ghanaians were going to get money to live. You know, so even though people may not think that the next government would solve all the problems, they said, let me leave, let us vote to get this government out. I remember last time I was cracking a joke here with you that for me, after 7 December, what would let me sleep in the morning well is that I'm not going to hear the name of Akufo-Addo as a president. That for me is my relief. Because he represents everything bad about the government. I was little, but I learned and I know more about Kwame Nkrumah. So if you compare Kwame Nkrumah and Akufo-Addo, you see God and the devil. The man who will be saying things and being directly opposite. We won't go to IMF, the following day you are there. Yet Tisikasu come there, not knowing that you are just, you know, getting ready to take everything for family and friends. Bless, we did not have the chance to read the document called Ijapede. You have read that Ijapede document. If you review it, I know you are a scientist, I'm a research person now. Review that document and see whatever had happened to us as a country. When the PDS failed because of Baumia's corruption, you know what they brought? Then they brought in Hotel to sit on ECG and siphon Ghana money in the energy sector to themselves. When Ejapa royalties that was going to mortgage our loans forever failed, then they brought in what? Gold for oil. Bless, Ghanaians have suffered. But you know something? A friend of mine, a classmate of mine who lives in Angola, now cannot even speak good English. He said, Sam, where's Rollins? I said, oh, Johnny Rollins is dead, oh. So that's why these things are happening. Because he in Angola can't just understand why Ghanaians should be enduring all these things, yet we don't go take up to the streets. You are going to just vote, oh, you get up from your house, you are going to vote. The next moment you are in the fridge, a dead person, you have been shot. The president doesn't say anything about it. Your husband wake up, he's going to bank, he's going to work in a bank, UT bank, right? He comes home, face, crest falling. What is it? They have dissolved our bank there and they have sacked us. And they're sitting on television telling your wife that, oh no, we are going to put all of you under the CBG. The wife knows that you are going to CBG, but the husband knows that you're not going nowhere. So just by one policy decision, Akufo-Addo creates so much unemployed skilled labor. We sat down and look at him. Auditor General brings report that look, Oslausu has put a company on telecom, between the telecom, called revenue assurance. The people are not doing anything more than what the system, Suba and the rest were doing. He takes about 148 million CDs, I'm told, a month, free. As if that is not enough, the president himself and his cronies put SML, you know SML, to also siphon our GRA money. We keep quiet. The people keep quiet. And many, many more. If I'm going to cite what Akufo-Addo has done to this country and against the people of this country, bless, people will get angry and take to the street and go and attack him. But that's not what I'm advocating. But I think Albertus, my friend in Angola, has now been answered that Ghanaians are, in the words of Kwesi Pratt, we defeated the British, the colonial master, we defeated them. And like him, I was confident anytime he said that the people of Ghana was going to defeat these local colonial masters. Without bullets, without violence, but with our thumb. Today, see what has happened to them. See what has happened to Akufo-Addo. And I am happy that within the 3 years, his immunity has not started. Akufo-Addo will be the first president to be investigated. And if found out of all the crimes that people are talking about, the president, incoming president, should not look at him as a friend that I'm going to consult with. He should jail him. So that future president will know that, look, president can be jailed in other countries, isn't it? So we can also jail our president. Look at Oforiatta, Ken Oforiatta. With all the sins he has committed against this country, remove him and make him African ambassador for your ambassador of financial transactions. Bless, today if you go to the Roman Ridge airport residential area, Laboni, the impunity, government bungalow is there. There's a developer who, under the guise of PPP, comes all of a sudden, he cordons off. You go to office, by the time you come, there are security men at your gate, and they are telling you that tomorrow we are going to break your bungalow. If you resist, they beat you up. And look at, if you go to Roman Ridge was used to be pristine, you know, with greens. That developer has turned Roman Ridge into concrete forest. The buildings he is putting up, no car parking, no space for emergency, nothing. All he is putting up. So we want to know, what kind of arrangement did the Ministry of Works and Housing, for instance, enter with, and Lands Commission, enter with just such a developer that had the courage to demolish our DVLA. You know that DVLA, that space, to demolish it and build some hen coops far away. When the DVLA was there, from Dansoman, I know where I'm going, right? Now I have to go through Hachu, Atomic to Hachu. Was the president thinking about us as a country, or was thinking about how to enrich himself and his family? What about the COVID? Today, we are still, if you go and buy one papaya, I'm not promoting papaya, but if you go and buy any food for your children, bless, the taxes you will see. And people pay taxes freely when they believe that their taxes are going to be put into good use. Not so. But in Ghana, do they put your taxes in good use? The roads in the plush areas, like Roman Ridge Airport residential area, they have good roads. This government over there will come and put asphalt. Then they'll come and put asphalt and calculate it and say we have constructed 12,000 kilometers of roads. This is the country this Akufo-Addo has left us. The expectations, insight is very right. People are really expecting Mahama to act. And some of the expectations are not personal. Right? Expectations like cleaning our water bodies. A wicked president, such a wicked president, deciding to, legalize and give an executive instrument that people can mine in our forest reserves, knowing very well that those forest reserves are the sources of our water bodies. Then he goes to take money from the World Bank that he's going to plant trees. How much money haven't we spent on tree planting? All these are going to be probed, I'm sure. And like yesterday, a friend of mine said, Sam, you are a lawyer. What is going to happen when their people are still parked in the court? I said, look, God is not a fool. We still have the regional tribunals, the regional tribunals in the Constitution. It's a matter of reactivating them to deal with these people who willfully and knowingly decided to destroy our economy. These people who willfully pretended that they were giving our children free education, right? To dupe us, to give our children rotten rice. There's so much to deal with. But I'm hopeful that within 120 days that John Mahama has promised, the expectation of the free betting tax, the year levy, and all those things will be dealt with. Because Ghanaians, John Mahama, listen to me, Ghanaians have given you such a majority in parliament. They gave you MPP majority, NDC minority, right? Then they gave you balanced parliament, which call what? The equal size, hung parliament. Now they are giving you, John Mahama, super majority, with the expectation that you will right what is wrong. You will clean our water bodies, right? You would give our children better and quality education. You will not tell us lies. Paid communicators come on air to lie. Paid communicators, when they are talking, they talk as if the world is coming to an end and they are the only people who are going to school. Look, we have anger. Even me as an old man, I have anger in me.